Is life insurance halal or haram?
What happens mostly sometimes is that insurance is portrayed or projected or marketed as an investment product. However, that is not the main purpose of insurance. So the interesting thing is, if you take the general life insurance business,
Right.
our interest is that you live longer.
Is it
We want
really?
you to be healthier. See, if we're going to pay out,
You don't want to pay out because you'll have to pay out in a lump sum.
Pakistan, if you think about it, 10% of global deaths in women, 10% of global deaths due to cancer happen in Pakistan. We're not 10% of the world's population. 1,500 rupees a year annually. And if she gets diagnosed with cancer, we will pay 15 lakh towards her treatment.
Wow.
And we're getting real-time data of hospital admissions.
So you can see, you can predict pandemics.
True.
So wait a second. You're saying that for my kid's wedding, I don't need to buy them jewelry and I
Give
can
them a
just give
state-life policy.
Hello and welcome everyone to episode 68 of Digitales. My name is Faizan Syed, founder and CEO of East River, and today I have the youngest chairman and CEO of State Life Insurance. He brings in global experience. He's worked at great firms like HSBC, Prudential globally in managerial and strategy roles. And he's now in Pakistan for the last 2 years, helping run and transform the insurance giant of this country that is 100% owned by the government of Pakistan. And he is 100% turning around its image and its operations. Shoaib Javed Hussain, how are you today?
Thank you so much, Faizan. I'm doing great.
So I did a little bit of research. And I wanted to understand a little bit about the insurance industry. And, and of course, you gave me some of the nuggets as well. The global insurance industry average as a percentage of GDP is 4%. We are less than that. We're 0.9%, right? So people don't even understand insurance. Maybe there's reasons for that. And so when I was digging in why people don't understand insurance, what is the thing that they look for the most? One of the top searched words or sentences that came up is life insurance halal or haram? And I think that's why we're stuck. Is that the reason we're stuck?
There are a number of reasons why आपने जो बात की 0.9% penetration rate कहते हैं. How much does the insurance industry contribute to the gross domestic product? World average is 4%. So we're significantly below. And 4%, we're talking about countries like India, Malaysia, Indonesia.
Right. Similar profile as us.
Yeah. If you talk about developed countries, such as South Korea, Japan, US, or European countries, you're talking about 10 to 12%. So
so the developed are above 10%.
Way above.
Right.
So we're way behind. Now, the concept of it comes in that, first and foremost, it's important to understand what is insurance. Why does one insure a person's life or health or property?
Right.
It's about protection.
So insurance is protecting one's assets,
oneself, one's
life,
family, one's children, one's future. And that's how one should think about it.
So why does halal or haram come into protection?
Right. So again, it's very simple. I think you've raised a very, very philosophical point here. What happens mostly sometimes is that insurance is portrayed or projected or marketed as an investment product. That you save now and your savings will grow, your investments will grow, and you'll get a economic return equivalent to, say, the stock exchange or something.
And this is your life insurance policy.
This is your life insurance policy. Now, however, that is not the main purpose of insurance. The main purpose of insurance is protection. Protection is whatever is valuable to you.
Right.
Be it your own life, the health of your children, your family,
right,
and everything else around that. So that's the important part, and to think about it. So if we talk about health insurance, you're protecting your health. There's no question of that. However, there is an element of savings in insurance policies, and that's where the question from halal or haram, basically saying, are they takafful compliant products or not? So State Life, for example, does have a takafful range.
Explain takafful.
So takafful range is what? It means where are you investing your assets?
So that means getting the return is not the problem. That's not the halal haram problem. The return is not the problem. It's where the investment comes from.
So you see, if you take it from a concept of riba, That's where it's coming in.
Right.
That if you are earning interest on something that is generally considered not Islamic.
Right.
And that's where the question comes up.
Right.
If you're earning profit, then that's not a challenge. Because that is you're doing
There's
business.
risk involved.
There's risk involved. You're doing business and you're earning money out of taking that risk and delivering. So one thing to clarify, even State Life's conventional policy, the best-selling policy is a with profits endowment policy, which means that the profits we generate are shared and given to the policyholder. So a unique structure about State Life is that, and I don't think you get this example anywhere in the world, so it is very, very unique. 97.5% of our profits are shared with the policyholder, and only 2.5% of the profits go to the shareholder. 97.5% of our profits
go to the policyholder. So the person who has bought the policy from State Life,
he shares into our annual profits,
into the company profits,
into the company's profits. And 97.5% of our total profits are allocated to our policyholders.
And that is part of the life insurance policy.
Yes, that is part of our life insurance business. And only 2.5% is what's actually going to the shareholder.
Okay, I'm going to take a step back because that can get confusing. The way an insurance company makes money is by increasing the number of people it insures. And we're going to get into actuarial science and all of that. There's probabilities assigned with how many people will actually take sort of the benefit of the insurance versus how many people will contribute every year, right? So the more people that contribute every year, the greater your profits. And the greater your profits, the more you're able to give back to the contributor.
Exactly, to the policyholder.
It's kind of like a Ponzi, right? Where I'm giving and then I'm getting back, and so I'll give more.
No, not the right word at all. You see, take it this way.
It's a poor choice of word, I get it, but...
You see, this is what it is. What is a life insurer doing? Going back to let me answer your first question first, then we'll come back to this one. So you're takafful, Islamic, Sharia compliant or not?
So you have
Sharia compliant in the strict world, we do have a takafful range, which are Sharia compliant.
Right.
And our choice of investments in there are Sharia compliant.
Where there's risk involved, basically.
Yeah. And then that drives that.
Got it.
So we have a takafful range. If for any individual, if this is a big question for them,
they have that.
They have the takafful option, go for
Got
it.
it.
And then we've got the conventional option, which has been running for the past 50 years.
Right.
Okay. Now to your second question. How does a life insurance company meant to generate profits?
Exactly.
And what do we share back? So the way we generate profits is, talking about actuarially, we through statistics, data, and all that. Now we're using artificial intelligence and everything.
Right.
We'll get to that a bit more. We predict the average lifetime of an individual.
Okay.
And payments are made out, khuda na khasta, if a catastrophe hits or unforeseen event hits. So the profits really come in that, for example, if on average we're expecting people to live to age 60.
Right.
And people live to age 70. So you're not paying off. So the number of death payments that you were expecting, you haven't made them.
Right.
But policies reach the maturity date and you're paying them off.
Right.
There's a maturity benefit as well. So that's how. So it's the economies of scale over there. Law of averages, and that's where you make your profits. And that only comes down to how technical you are, how well you project your balance sheet, and how well you use the data on hand to determine the probability of events occurring. So that's where your technical skill goes.
So you're saying your skill, the true skill, is to figure out how long someone will live.
Yeah.
And how long someone needs to pay the insurance policy for before they start recouping on that policy.
Before the benefits of data. So, for example, if we sell, something, say that you sell a health insurance policy.
Right.
Now you're expecting, on average, that over a 10-year period, a person might have one health emergency.
Fine.
And you've priced that in.
Fine.
If the person, your large population, if you got it completely wrong, and the people started having 3 health emergencies every 10 years, then you're paying out more than you priced in.
So
that would be a loss.
And that would happen in COVID, for example.
That would be having COVID. floods for example, something catastrophe hit. Now, if you were not able to, your technical skill wasn't there to foresee and price that properly,
right,
then you would make a loss. If you did price that properly and then you were fair to the customers, then you would end up making a profit.
Right.
So that's how you make your profit. And when you make your profit out of your technical skills, State Life gives that profit back to the policyholder.
So there is that element of risk, which is the predictability of that entire model.
Yes.
And so therefore, the better you predict, the more profit as a policyholder I get. Yeah. I'm going to refer more likely to my friends that, wow, I got a great profit. You should invest too.
Yeah.
Not invest, but insure yourself.
Insure. So State Life's returns on our endowment policy right now are the best that you can get in the market. And it has historically been so. On average, if you say, of course, we're going through a very special situation these days economically, but if you take 50 years average, the inflation rate in Pakistan is about 8 to 9%.
Right, sure.
And State Life's returns have been greater than 10%.
Wow.
Growth, which is profit sharing, after profit sharing. So it's not interest, it's profit sharing. And then, of course, this is over and above just your life protection element. That should somebody die or meet an accident or something, then we pay out anyhow, which is your sum insured. But this is the maturity survival benefit where you're getting an average return of more than 10% each year.
Wow, that's a pretty good return.
Yeah.
And so the way it works is you're paying, let's say, a monthly premium. Mm-hmm. You pay up to a certain age. Let's say the age is 60. After 60, let's say you live on to 80. Do you keep... is there a return you receive? Because you've stopped paying the premium after 60, right? Or is there a lump sum payout whenever your life is ended?
So you have a number of options. So say you take out 20-year endowment and you're aged 40.
Right.
So you've taken that endowment, you pay premium for 20 years.
Got it.
Now, if Khuda na khasta something happens within that 20-year period, even if you paid only 5 premiums or 10 premiums, we will pay the full amount out. Which is your benefit. If you survive to the 20 years and you're age 60, you can get a maturity benefit, which is a lump sum payment back to you with profits added on.
Right.
And then you also have an option to convert it into a pension. So i.e. an annuity.
So it pays back.
Yeah. Here's my lump sum. I don't want to take my lump sum out right now because I don't have a need for a lump sum payment right now.
Right.
But I would like a regular income till the day I live. So then you can convert that lump sum into a monthly
stipend,
monthly pension, monthly income, and that keeps paying out till the day you survive. So
what if I live to 110?
We will pay you.
Okay.
As simple as that.
So then we're both placing bets on how long I will live, basically.
So the interesting thing is, if you take the general life insurance business,
right,
our interest is that you live longer.
Is it?
We want you to be healthier. See, if we're going to pay out,
you don't want to pay out because you'll have to pay out in a lump sum.
If our interest, a life insurance industry's interest would be in a healthy, happy society.
Stable cash flows.
More predictable. And also, take from a health perspective, if you have a healthy cohort of a population, less hospital bills to pay out, etc.
Right. Because most likely, I'd take a life insurance policy with the company that I have a health insurance policy with, right?
Yes. So our interest generally is, and from our CSR activities, it is always towards healthier activities, more active participation in a positive a population or a society.
As a policy holder, do you take steps that actively ensure that, okay, let's try to get these guys to live as long as they can?
Yeah, so I think in the past it hasn't been so, and generally in Pakistan.
Globally, is that a trend?
Globally is definitely a trend. Happy, healthier, longer lives.
So what are some of the things that say a life insurance company would do for that?
So you see, what we're focusing on right now is rewarding our policyholder for healthy lifestyles. So
if I go to the gym, you'll pay me extra.
You go for a run, you can get a discount on your premium.
Oh, really?
You can get...
So like these running I'm a part of a running club. You can give them a discount?
Yeah. So we want to do that.
Amazing.
So you see people come like that. So a marathon runner or anybody. So we can give you, either a discount on your premium or we can give you, rewards. Such as discounts.
I'm also part of a rallying group. I'm assuming you charge them a premium.
That goes the other way. There you're putting yourself at risk. We want you to be healthy and happy. Huh? But the whole point of it is, there can be reward schemes as well, from cinema tickets to restaurants to discounts at your favorite outlets and all of that. So to reward healthy activities and a healthy lifestyle.
Interesting. And so now, when I'm thinking now, as it's coming together for me. Your insurance business has the life insurance, the life protection. That's one part of the business. And then you mentioned P and C earlier, property and casualty. So I want to understand the full range, right? So you've got life, you've got property, casualties. For example, insuring your house, your valuables, your car, anything against force majeure or theft or whatever. And then you've got health insurance. Is there any other type of insurance out there?
So those are your main insurance. So you've got your life and health, which is what statelife is doing predominantly.
Right.
We launched our corporate individual health line just last year.
What percentage of your revenue is life and health?
So life is our majority of revenue.
Right.
Of course, we're also the let's say the administrator or the insurer for the state health program that's been running. In other provinces. That's our state health program. We've launched a corporate individual health line just last year, just about 6 months ago. So that's growing.
Corporate individual, that would be like telemedicine sort of?
No, so that's what you just said. The employer that you're working with, your employer gives you a health plan.
Right.
So there's an insurance company behind it.
Got it.
So we've just launched that.
Got it.
And of course, for example, individual health, we just launched Sinpeahan, which is Pakistan's first ever women cancer protection program. So for any girl or a woman, any type of cancer would be protected. And it hasn't existed anywhere in Pakistan before. And
it's a full protection. So whatever the cost is.
Yeah. So you can choose. Right. You can choose to, on average, say if it was a girl of 20 years old, she decides to get it.
Yeah.
She will pay something like, let's say 1,500 rupees a year.
That's it?
Yeah.
1,500 rupees a year for how long?
1,500 rupees a year annually. And if she gets diagnosed with cancer, we will pay 15 lakh towards her treatment.
Wow.
So if you talk about how many years, the person would have to pay 1,500 for about 100 years to even break even on that point.
Right.
So it's a completely in the money. And obviously what you were talking about, the ability and the technical ability. Yeah. So I myself got involved in designing this. And the reason I did it was
that's a great program for women, especially, then they have that security because the diagnosis of cancer over time has increased.
I'll tell you exactly why. A bit of a story here, but if you're interested.
Yeah, of course.
You see, I came back to Pakistan in 2021, and October is usually Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Yep. And it was my first few months, and people close to me were around that time diagnosed with cancer too. And I got a little intrigued, on our media, on our TV and all, that breast cancer awareness ads and buildings turning pink was all there. Okay, that's kind of nice. I was back in Pakistan for 17, 18 years. That's sort of nice that at least there's recognition and we're doing something about it. Billboards went up. And then come November, the flavor of the month was different. And it kind of hit me. Well, actually, maybe there was more advertisement. I'm not talking about any particular company, but it kind of hit me that maybe there was more marketing than anything beneath.
Brands want to take advantage of that situation.
So that was a bit, heartbreaking rather than anything else.
Right.
So then I kind of rolled my sleeves up and just kind of looked into, how big is this issue is. And when I looked at it, it was horrible.
Right.
Pakistan, if you think about it, 10% of global deaths in women, 10% of global deaths due to cancer happen in Pakistan. We're not 10% of the world's population. So we are heavily weighted. And the worst thing is, of all the diagnoses of cancer that happen in Pakistan, this is actually diagnosed, about 60 to 80% end in death.
60 to 80%? That's very high.
End in death for women. And then I started thinking, why? And you touched on it, it became kind of obvious. One is financial ability.
Right.
And the other is awareness.
Right.
So when you don't have the financial ability, and if you look at the women in our country all around, they're basically the backbone of our country.
Yeah.
And because most of them are housewives running the homes, they're kind of they run everything. And they're not allowed to even have a sick day.
Yeah. That's true.
They do everything from taking care of the children to the grandparents to the husband and everything, and they can't even fall ill. So there's like a bit of a trend that even if the mother falls ill, all she does is takes a painkiller or a aspirin or Panadol and back at it.
Yeah.
So they kind of ignore their ailments. They don't go to the hospital even if they can.
Right.
And what happens with that is A, lack of awareness of what the symptoms can be. B, by the time they go to a hospital, it is too late.
Yeah.
Because in something like cancer, it can spread so quickly.
Yep.
And they're at stage 3 or stage 4. And unfortunately, that's too late to cure it. And that's one area. And that's the area where people can actually afford the treatment.
Right.
Then there's the other area where people will not even bother going to the hospital because of the financial bills.
And you've taken care of that part, at least.
That's what we're doing. You see, if that was the first point of bringing the price point so low, so it's actually affordable. If we say 1,500 rupees a year, we're talking about 100 rupees, 120 rupees a month.
That's nothing.
That is nothing.
That's like a snack money now.
Exactly. And then you get a bag of crisps and a Coke bottle for that. And then the point of it is that if we can get it to them at a young age, that's where the real conversation and awareness can start. Second thing is, if they have this ability in their hand, then they're not scared. They're not financially constrained to go to a hospital. And they know Statelife will be there to cover the bills should the worst happen.
That's a great initiative. And I think getting that, and how are you getting that knowledge or that education instilled? Are you doing sort of an activations program at the college level for women?
Hit the nail on the head.
Yeah.
Hopefully tomorrow I'm sitting down with the university.
Right.
And like you said, it's only 100 rupees per month.
Yeah.
And let's see how it goes. I won't take the university's name right now. But inshallah, we will have convinced the university that the entire female population should just have this product.
Absolutely.
It's just 100 rupees.
That's nothing. And
it's nothing.
And this entire audience, the university, the young, I mean, that's 60% of our population is under, let's say, 30. And they're all on digital, And I know a digital company, just in case you don't know one, that can help you. But coming back to the sort of insurance, you cover life, you cover health. What about the other sort of non-mainstream insurances that you guys get into?
You see, Statelife is mainly life and health. However, we do have a subsidiary called Alpha, and that is PNC. So that will do your house insurance, car insurance, your valuables, art, anything of that sort.
Is it worth getting these insurances? Because most people don't have. Let's be honest. I mean, on 1%, even 1% doesn't have that in Pakistan.
I agree. Listen, I'll tell you something interesting. This is going back when maybe I was a teenager or so, maybe 18, 20 years old, just recently starting up on actuarial exams. And I was on a drive with my dad. And my father was just saying, the motor insurance, car insurance is a scam.
Yeah.
They just take premiums and nothing gets paid up.
Yeah.
And, I'm a careful driver. Like, fair enough. And then right there, a thought hit me. If there was $1 million industry,
right,
in whose interest it is that the roads are safe, well, then guess what? Roads will be safe. You see?
Yeah.
If it's in the interest of $1 million industry that accidents don't happen,
they won't happen. So you're saying that this is a way to incentivize safety.
Exactly. You see, there are two things. So if you look at car insurance, just taking, because people drive cars or motorbikes, whatever it may be. Again, I'm talking about economics over here. You're paying out your premiums. Now, your premiums, if you're a careless driver and you have a lot of ticks and, you hit your car plenty enough, you're going to the insurance company over and over again.
Right.
Eventually, your insurance premium will start going up. So it's not in your interest. So you need to be a better driver.
Yep.
Similarly, for the insurance industry, or any industry for that matter, it's in their interest that car accidents don't happen.
Right.
People don't get hurt.
Right.
People do not die.
Right.
And all of that, which means better adhering to the rules.
Sure.
And you've traveled around the world, and I think you see that difference. If you are in America or UK or anyone, car insurance is mandatory.
Yes.
Correct?
And you're incentivized
and
to
then
drive
you're
safer.
Incentivized to drive safer.
In fact, I used to not... I've been a car guy all my life, so I look for excuses to drive fast. But in the US, it was always like, the first thing that would come to my mind was not the speeding ticket. It was like, my premium will go up.
There you go.
Because a ticket is a one-time payment.
Yeah.
But a premium, it happens every month. And that hurts when your premium goes up.
There you go. And now if you compare for any European country in Pakistan, the number of car accidents that happen on the road.
And they're like, whatever.
So there you go. So,
But can't regulation, I mean, look, in the Western markets, regulation mandates insurance for everyone. It's a requirement. You have to be registered. Sorry, you have to be obviously registered, but you have to be insured as well before you get on a road.
Regulations exist.
There are regulations around insurance in Pakistan?
There you go.
You've got to be kidding.
There are regulations.
What are the regulations?
Regulations exist.
That we need to be insured drivers?
Yeah.
Like everyone?
Every car that
does anyone know about this?
Every car that has license or something needs to be insured and all of that. It's the implementation of those regulations or law that may be a little
I had
weaker.
no idea. I just thought that we need to get some regulations around this matter.
So regulations do exist. It's implementation of them.
So why wouldn't an insurance company like yourself, to your point, right, that it's in your best interest to make sure that people are safer drivers, why wouldn't an insurance company or the entire industry start talking about these regulations?
Well, here I am talking to you. But the point of it is...
But like running mass campaigns, getting that awareness out there, like
exactly.
at that, middle, lower level, up, high level, wherever.
I think we have an insurance association of Pakistan. Their remit really should be this. I am engaged with them to up the profile a bit more. Exactly what you're saying. Tell people how it can benefit them. It is in their interest to do so. And that is that. Listen, moving away from car insurance, just to emphasize how this is important, you look at today's economy. Everything is volatile.
Extremely volatile.
You need to secure your future. You need to protect the future of your children.
Right.
And that's where insurance comes in. And it's very simple. If somebody wants to understand insurance, I know it's a boring word. But somebody, and I'm not going to make it any more exciting. But if someone really wants to understand insurance, what are they going to understand? How do they understand it? The way I see it, the role of an insurance company is to be a partner in an individual's life journey.
Okay.
And you run a digital company, you'll understand it very well. I went, the freelancing community in Pakistan, it's growing, it's doing really well.
Fantastic work.
And when you sit with them, they're fantastic kids. They can be from Jhang, from Hyderabad, not just Karachi or Lahore, Islamabad. They can be from anywhere. They're at their homes with a laptop. And they're doing jobs for companies all over the world. And they're doing wonders and fantastic jobs, correct? Now, at the age of 18 or 20, what is their interest? It's their laptop, it's their gadget, it's the tool that they need to earn.
Correct.
And that's it. So their interest would be limited to that, right? And maybe an ability to, maybe go out for a meal with their friends or something social. And that's about it. The role of an insurance company really there, the way I would see it, is generating a healthy lifestyle for them, what we were talking about earlier, encouraging a healthy lifestyle, be it gyms or running or whatever it may be, at the same time protecting their tools. That, we're talking about the reward system, that you continue on this, your laptop is covered every 2 years, you maintain a healthy lifestyle, we'll give you a new laptop, we'll give you a new iPad, whatever it may be.
Right? That you're incentivizing that.
Incentivizing them. And then also giving them inclusion. You see, you're empowering them. That your main tool, listen, you must come across them. I did. I spent some time with these kids. And in a way, it was heartbreaking that their concerns were that, hey, what happens if after 6 months my laptop breaks down? I don't have money to buy a new one. You see?
That is a big concern.
That's a big concern, right? Because even their income flow is volatile. They might have a project today, might not have it next month, etc. So the insurance company gives that protection. That, hey, if something happens, your working tool is there. That's their concern right now. A few years down the line, they may want to get married. So you want a savings bank, which allows you to cash into that. When you have a big spend coming in, so you can plan it for that.
Okay, so you can even help with the wedding savings. Got it.
Then you get married, you might be looking at a health program for yourself, for your wife. You might want to save. Either, you're 26, 27, you're thinking, hey, in 20 years down the line, I should be able to buy an apartment of my own or something of that sort. So that's where endowment is a great product for that.
So you can help with the savings in that as well.
And think about it, if in Pakistan's volatile market, you take Statelife's endowment policy, and that is giving you more than a 10% return every year. And should something happen in between, then your heirs get a big lump sum payment. And if you survive, you get your maturity benefit plus profit.
So you're protecting at every step of the life journey as it keeps unfolding from the teenager with a laptop to the marriage, to the kids,
Yes.
to middle age, health complications that come with middle age, all the way to retirement and then beyond, and then the pension that to keep you going in retirement.
Exactly.
But why is it? And so this is one of the things that we discovered as we were searching. So we were searching for insurance and keywords and everything. And what we found is people get confused. You know, you just explained it so succinctly that, you know what, when you're 18, I need to come and let you know that I will protect your life every step of the way, and it will not cost you an arm and a leg. All right. You mentioned the women's cancer sort of initiative that you took at 1,500 rupees. Explain to me in a very simple way. Let's say I'm starting that journey. What should be my life insurances at these various life points, and how much would I end up spending every month creating a fair level of protection for my family? Like in simplest of possible terms.
You know, okay, it obviously depends on person's income. So you should be thinking about percentage.
Let's take the average, let's pick an income bracket of 50,000 to range of a 50 to 100,000 rupee income range.
Okay, listen, what are your needs? You know, if you're placing a person at the time of he has a young family, correct? And he has maybe, let's say 60,000 to 100,000, that's what he's earning.
Right.
Prioritize. What are your priorities right now? There could be two or three things jump to a person's mind. If I'm in that position and I'm a sole earner and I have 2 young kids and a wife, what happens to them if I'm not around?
They need to be taken care of. So that first thing is...
So if something happens and if I die, if I'm unable to earn, can they get a big lump sum that can work?
So security of income is number one.
Security of income, right? That's the one thing. Second thing is, okay, you know, health should be spoken about more. We do not talk about health.
We do not, yeah.
That, you know, as children grow up, as we grow older, the health needs will become more and more. You know, one thing, we're talking about this individual on an average level, even our, you know, the upper echelon of society, because most people are working in corporates and all that, and they're covered while they're working. What they don't realize is the day they retire, they don't have that health cover from the corporate company.
Right, of course.
And at 61,
getting health coverage,
much high risk,
yes.
And you don't get health coverage.
Course.
So even if you in the upper bracket of your income, you should really think about your health cover. And I'll come back to this about the health cover thing. And then, you know, what are the 2 other main aims that you can have? You're talking about protection of income,
right?
Which you have then protected 2 areas. Say with an endowment program within statelife, you protect 2 things. Should something happen to me,
right,
then I want some big lump sum to come towards my heirs, my wife, my kids.
Unforeseen event. Should I survive? You know, if I'm, you know, like we were talking about 40, 60, you're retiring, you want your own home. You don't want me to rent a house or something. I want a lump sum payment, benefit coming through, so I can build a house or buy an apartment, whatever it may be. Right.
So it works both ways. It protects you while your working years, and if should you survive to that maturity date, it gives you a lump sum to spend towards, you know, a basic life need.
Right.
As in retirement, having your own home, not worrying about rent and all that. That's 2 things. What's the third thing?
Health.
Fourth thing is child education. If I have a young family now, and if I'm planning to send them to university, no matter where it may be be a domestic university, maybe abroad, we know it's expensive. We know it's only going to get more expensive.
Yes.
And it's a key life decision.
So you're putting a little chunk every month away.
Exactly. To ensure, and you know, you can think about it, that, okay, how much do I want, what saving nest do I want?
Got it.
By the time my child is 18 years old.
Yeah. So based on the university where you want their education, so you work backwards on that. Yeah. So now you're saying my income, should my life end unexpectedly, or should my life continue? You're saying my health, my kids' future and their education.
And then lastly, my own retirement.
Right.
So when I'm above 60, I'm not getting that. What does usually happen in Pakistan? We're working all through our lives. And we work till age 65 or 70. Right. Normally, people are working in Pakistan as long as they can.
Right.
And that's generating them a monthly income, and they're running the households. The monthly income stops.
Yes.
Then what?
Okay.
Now, you see, this is very, very important for our society because this is my read. The nuclear family system in Pakistan has worked very well in the past. And then what was answered previously by saying, oh, my kids will take care of me.
Yes.
I've taken care of my kids.
But none of the kids want to stay in this country.
There you go. So that position is changing very well.
Old age homes?
No,
that's
there.
a new business?
But we're not there, no. No, I'm not pitching any business line. But what I am saying is that in our retirement, we will need an income stream to maintain a certain level of lifestyle, to maintain, to be able to meet the basic necessities of life.
True.
And for that, we will need a pension income coming in, an annuity income coming in.
So for all of this, so let's say, and these are the 4 basic. I'm not even getting to jewelry, art, cars, and valuables and all of that, right? This honestly is the basic.
This is basic, right?
At 100, let's say 50 to 100K income, will it cost me 10,000 rupees a month to create protection for these 4 areas?
You can.
You can. So 10% of my income.
Yeah. See, you can start anywhere. See, the thing is, the younger you start, the better.
Right.
So the lowest ticket point, you can, our cheapest health policy, for example, is 550 rupees per year.
550 rupees per year?
Yes.
That's it?
That's it.
But then the coverage, I'm assuming, is obviously commensurate.
But it's enough. But, like I said, for cancer, it's 100 rupees per month. You're getting 15 lakhs,
Yeah.
So now...
But it's better than nothing. I mean...
and you start somewhere. When you're younger, you can get into that 550 rupees. It's not going to cost you an arm and a leg. You're younger, you're not likely to have massive medical bills anyways.
Right.
But what that will mean is that as you start to increase your requirements, it won't cost you an arm and leg in the premium terms.
And as your income increases, you've already established the habit and behavior of allocating this amount.
Yes. And you're already a life insured by the life insurance company.
Right.
So they know you.
Yeah.
So they will not charge you arm and leg for your premiums if you start at age 25 and you're paying 500 rupees a year.
Right.
And you've been with them for 40 years when you're age 60 or something, they'll still pay you out no matter what. As opposed to you coming in at age 60 and saying, hey, I want insurance.
Right.
And then you're a very high risk and your premium is going to be very, very expensive.
I feel like this should be a course in college or in high school. Like insurance.
Financial planning, yes.
Financial planning, right? Because
absolutely.
I think one of the things in our education system we forget. I mean, you know what? I don't need to know where the geography of the world is. I mean, I can Google it now. My kids will Google it. But they need to know financial planning.
Absolutely.
And if we can get that instilled in their minds, because an AI bot cannot swap out their life plans. It can predict and say, okay, you know what, this is option A, B, C, but the thinking has to be done by the individual. And I think that globally, especially in Pakistan, there is no knowledge or education of financial planning. And it only is whatever your family's been practicing that gets passed down to you. How does an insurance company like you, and you guys are 65% of the market share?
We've increased from 50% in the past 2 years.
Wow. So you increased 15%. So you're bigger than the rest of the entire insurance market?
Yes, we are.
So being the big guy, being the big gun in the market, what are you doing towards educating our younger population about financial planning?
There's something that we're really looking to get involved in. Like I said, we're already in conversation with universities.
Right.
To get involved, getting their population engaged. I think, at least I won't say too much about what happened in the past or what did not happen.
Right.
But now our CSR activities is what we're really looking at. Because what you're talking about, it is social responsibility.
Right.
Of educating people. And we are looking to engage at the school levels and, using that to further enhance exact conversation that we just had.
Right.
This is in your interest.
It is in your interest.
And, I'll say something very interesting culturally.
Right.
Insurance is a term not a lot of people in Pakistan will understand.
But everyone knows Bima policy.
Bima policy. They'll Google it. Bima policy was also a term used by statelife,
Right.
If you remember, Bima policy. It goes back to our childhood days.
Yeah, I remember that ad.
Yeah.
It sank in.
Stuck in, right?
Yeah.
So now the thing is that the interesting part is culturally we're opposed to insurance. We see it as something new. We don't know whether it's halal or haram. We ask so many questions of ourselves. However, if you go back to culture, Pakistan and India, if you recall this and if you know this, and everybody, even the crew over here will resonate with this, jewelry.
Yeah.
When a woman gets married, why is she given jewelry?
It's insurance.
She's been given gold.
Because it's that lump sum payout. She can sell it if she needs it. There's a life event.
There you go. So that was our insurance back in the day. That if you remember, a massive health issue.
So wait a second. You're saying that for my kid's wedding, I don't need to buy them jewelry, and
give them a state-life policy. Now you're selling it.
Here's a certificate. It'll pay out in case something goes wrong.
We've got a Jeevan Sati policy. It sells very well.
We've just shut down all the jewelers of Pakistan.
But you see, I'm talking about cultural habits.
Yeah. But that makes so much sense. I mean, that's a historical way because it was gold is a store of value.
Yeah, gold is a store of value. It's what backs your monetary value as well.
Correct.
And should anything happen, if even now, think about it. Someone's child needs to go to university. What do they do? Sell plots.
Yeah.
Correct?
Yeah.
Because it's a tangible asset. So there is a concept deep within our culture of insurance. And now that habit, if you think about it, of storing gold and jewelry and lockers and houses, well, it doesn't happen anymore. It's all much too expensive. So we can't do that anymore.
Plus, it's hard to tokenize gold or make it bring it down to, let's say, the unit level where it's easier or cheaper to be getting access to,
unfortunately, people get conned, etc., etc. Yeah. So it really is. Insurance really, it is in our cultural values. It is something we've been practicing for hundreds of years.
Yeah.
What this is doing is giving it you, like you say, unit value.
Yeah.
It's helping you plan out for the future better. It's helping you to protect your own and your family's future.
Fair, interesting point. And, I'm going to switch gears for a second here. It's, you talked a lot about sort of cutting edge things. You talk about data, relying on predictability and everything. You're talking about sort of inclusion, women's, cancer treatment, and you're talking from an umbrella of state life insurance, because the image that we all have in the market of state life is this large government-owned entity, slow to move, has a very different perception from a lot of the things you've talked about. You and I were even talking about how you're using AI technology. Walk me through the disparity in what's happening inside state life, which is the technological sort of push that you've enabled, and the image of state life that we all carry in the market. And how will you bridge that gap?
You see, first and foremost, listen, I joined in March 21. So it's been about 22 months or so. Now, this push, tell you what's happening inside state life. In this time period, we've launched about 20 new products, including Sinfahan, our entire corporate individual health line. We've improved our savings products with Golden Endowment. You'll get more for your money. But I think Golden Endowment is interesting because we're talking about the savings point that you were talking about. Golden Endowment is a product that we launched last year. For the same amount of premium, you'll get 25% more benefit. So we've revamped, we've improved on our own product lines, we've launched new product lines, etc. That was one area that what we've done.
Right.
The reason for doing that is talking about insurance again. The insurance needs to meet the need of the people.
Right.
It needs the individualistic need.
Correct.
And the products need to be there that fit a life need, a life cycle need. So hence the products that we've launched was us reviewing the life journey of an individual, and do we have the right offerings to actually support them?
Got it.
That's one thing. Second thing that we've done is actually digitalizing. We've digitalized our payment portals.
Okay.
So previously in state life, if I think about it, you could only pay premiums from the office where you bought the policy.
Like from a physical office,
physical offices, right? So you could only pay premium there.
That's a little annoying.
First, So for example, if you bought a policy in Lahore, now in Karachi, you can have to go deposit your premium in Lahore.
That's ridiculous.
That was happening a few years ago. However, now where we're at is first thing, all our zones, we have 33 zones across the country. They're all interconnected. Okay. So even if you bought your policy in Gilgit and you were in Layya today, you pay your premium in Layya. Second, we brought digital payment channels.
Right.
There's a digital portal that we've got. Jazz Cash.
So pay anywhere, anytime.
You can pay on your mobile. We connected with a bank payment.
Do they do auto deductions here or no in Pakistan?
Direct debit is not there yet, but banks are starting to offer that. Yes, from banker sold policies that you can opt for that. And
do you charge on credit cards or
no? If you're using the bank's own credit card or something, then no. JazzCash, as you know, NIFT, OneLink, and all of that, they're all on a platform now.
Right.
So you have plethora of options to pay for.
So you've made payments a lot
easier, right? Now, what else is happening? Now, obviously, we're going to do a lot of systems upgrade that we're doing. Now, talking about health insurance, the state health program that we're running, it actually covers more than 175 million Pakistanis.
Wow, you're practically covering almost three-quarters of the country. Yeah,
and then you remember 175 million people are larger than probably 2/3 of any country, any given country.
Larger than
right?
most countries.
Exactly, right? So we've got that on our books.
You're running wait, let me get this right. You're running a health program for the entire country.
Yeah, 175 million people.
That's unbelievable.
Right.
Okay.
And that's ramped up last year in 2022.
Yeah.
So now can you imagine that we have more than 1,000 impaneled hospitals across the country? From Sindh, Balochistan, Punjab, KP, federal areas, northern areas, everywhere. Can you imagine the number of claims that come through, the checks that we have to put on that, in control malpractice, control the risks that wrong treatment is not given out to policyholders.
I don't even understand how a manual system would have run in this place.
So you can imagine that initially it would have been paper files, x-rays and everything coming in. Now everything is e-claims.
Nice.
Like all hospitals are connected to our central database. So if a person goes into one of these hospitals and registers that, whatever the diagnosis comes across to us with the reports and everything electronically. And moreover, what we're also starting to do, we launched in July last year, a state-of-the-art data center in Islamabad. And we're getting real-time data of hospital admissions.
So you can predict pandemics.
Well, we want to get there.
Sort of.
We want to get there.
Yeah.
So we're getting real-time hospital data of admissions, where they're going up, and the utilization, i.e. what their treatments are and how they're happening. And that data, so one thing that it's doing is helping us pay the claims out quicker. So then the patient gets their treatments immediately. Second thing is that we're then using AI to also determine which diseases are getting diagnosed more and more.
Interesting.
So that we know where our premium should be, focused on. We know where our claims should be focused on.
So that helps you optimize pricing, structure, targeting.
And we just started this last year. And the whole idea of this is, as this data body builds, what you're saying, get actual health data down in this country. And we're not going to just use it for statelife.
Right.
The idea is we're going to get this shape that it helps revolutionize the health industry in Pakistan.
But it also helps you make a lot of money, which I think you guys had a really good quarter.
You had
a great year based on all of this.
So first and foremost, what this will help us do is bring the price point for the individual down. You see, first and foremost, because it will make the products affordable. So my push, this is the benefit of being a state-owned enterprise.
Right.
That I don't have a shareholder who says, how much profit have you made?
Right.
Because I want that house in Switzerland.
Yeah.
I have a shareholder who says, the purpose of statelife is social welfare protection in Pakistan. So I have a shareholder who says, how are you protecting the people of Pakistan? So it changes my entire outlook. And of course, I'm not going to cost the government money, but then
So everything you save, the greater margin expansion that you have, the more you have to invest in new programs that can create greater social welfare and protection.
And make the products cheaper
for
the individual. Or, like we said, the greater profits we make, the more the policyholder gets.
Right.
So you see, talking about health, we had, when I first came in, another true story is an individual. And he came to me for rather well-to-do, also moved back to Pakistan recently, and he said, what do you guys do in health insurance? Because it's so expensive. He said, I looked at it and all the options that I had, available in the market. He's a smart guy. He said, I did some back-of-the-envelope calculations and I reached the conclusion it's better for me to just save myself. because of how expensive the premiums were. And
Right.
at that time, State Life did this 2021. State Life didn't do health insurance. So made a mental note of it. I said, all right, we don't do health insurance. I'll take a look at it. And when I did have time on my desk, I went to some websites, looked at the products that were available. Being an actuary, took out a pen and paper, did my own calculations at the back with rough estimates. And it kind of hit me that, hey, I don't understand what they're doing, because if you do this right, this product should be 50% cheaper. So if they're paying 100 rupees premium, I said for the same benefits, they should be we should be charging only about 50 rupees.
Yeah.
So I called in my chief actuary, gave him my calculation and said, listen, either I've made a massive blunder and I've done the calculations wrong, or we should be able to offer the same product 50% cheaper. And he went away, did his own calculations, this time with models and everything.
Yeah.
Came back to me after a week and said, yep, you're right. We can launch this health line, and in our general benchmarking, it would be about 40% cheaper than what's available in the market. So now, when I said our cheapest price point is 550 rupees for health,
that's how you were able to get it.
Yes. So now, and the whole idea is to make it more affordable for the individual so that it really becomes part of their life decisions.
And you touched on this concept of actuary, and you were the youngest State Life chairman when you got appointed. You're an actuary by profession. First of all, explain to us, what does an actuary really do? Because honestly, I don't think most people know. And secondly, doesn't the future of technology, AI, and sort of self-learning devices take away from this profession, because you're automating this profession? So tell me about that.
So what does an actuary do? So, in Pakistan, I think there are about 20 fully qualified actuaries.
20?
Yes.
Like 20?
20.
In 200 million people?
Yeah.
This must be a really boring subject.
Well, more boring than insurance? I don't know. But the point is, listen, there are Pakistani actuaries globally.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, fully qualified actuaries practicing
How many
in Pakistan.
Pakistani actuaries are there globally?
Well,
25?
We're not going to, maybe triple digits. I'm not sure about that.
Wow.
But you see, the point is, it's...
Why don't people take on this? Is it really hard?
First is, it's hard. It's also not that well known.
Right.
And it's difficult. Yeah, there are about 15, exams that you have to pass on your own.
Right.
And in Pakistan, there's not really a structure. Which helps you study. So, for example, for me, it was all self-study. I would order my materials.
You were excited about studying actuarial sciences?
That's a different story. No, I think it was a bit of a bet.
This was a bet.
And here we are today.
Guy lost. You're the chairman of State Life.
Yeah, and here
I want to know who you bet against.
I think somebody said, you can't do it. I said, I'll show you. And there we are. So, you have to, talking about, so there's a UK system, there's a US system, the two primary systems.
Yeah.
In the UK system, there are 15 exams that you have to pass.
Okay.
So it's a long journey. So I think on average, in Pakistan, an individual takes about 7 to 8 years to pass these 15 exams. I think globally, where there is support in a country like UK, it still takes them 4 to 5 years.
Right.
Where there is educational support and all that. So it's a tough one. Mm-hmm. It's considered to be one of the toughest fellowship examinations out there. So maybe that's why. The other thing is that, what does it actually do and what are the applications of it? So traditionally it started with life insurance, in the insurance market and pensions. And the reason is that actuarial is effectively economics mixed with mathematics or statistics. So using the data as of today to project or predict what will happen in the future. So its original use was, what we were talking about earlier, predicting lifespan of a population. For how long would you have to pay pensions, or how likely it is that you have to make a benefit payment. That's how it was used.
So you're saying that the probability aspect of statistics, baked in with, let's say, the fundamentals of how does economics play into, let's say, the probability of.
So when you're talking about only life insurance over there, you're talking about strictly mortality, morbidity. So you're taking health data, you're taking life data, and you're using statistics and game theory around that.
Right.
That was traditional. The role of an actuary is expanded. Now you'll find actuaries in banks. I was at HSBC, banks, investment banks, capital markets, capital managing, restructuring, M&As, all of that. So now you're using that same skill set of being able to use maths, game theory, statistics and all, and applying it to the economic frontier or a company's capital frontier. So to tell a company what the risk horizon is, what is the potential, what they need to do now to meet their strategic goals.
Got it.
And all that comes in.
And what they need to do from a liquidity or of a, let's say, capital structure perspective?
Both. So both capital structure and liquidity. So to predict what your outflows are going to be in the future.
But can this not be done by AI?
So you see, what will happen is the roles will evolve. So first and foremost, you want to think about what an actuary is, probably the original data scientist.
Makes sense.
Right? That's what they really were. And now they're it's a tad too expensive data scientists.
Right.
But it doesn't mean that they're going to be invalid. What happens is technology is used for a purpose.
Yeah.
So back 100 years ago, actuaries would have been sat there with paper and pens and doing commutation functions and making tables and all of that. And then the enhancement that we saw through the 20th century allowed them to use the data and come up with bigger, more efficient calculations and decision making. And hence the role expanded from traditional insurance and pension to capital markets, investment markets, etc. So what I foresee is that you will still have a role, and the role is going to get evolved, is going to be enhanced, and it's going to be supported by the use of technology, and that is exceptionally important rather than a complete replacement. Because
you don't see a complete replacement.
No, because a human skill set will always be required. It's
But if you fed in all the possible outcomes and models, of course, human behavior is unpredictable, and AI is only projecting predictable behavior in a sense.
You see, if you just take the statement you just made, it will kind of tell you, hey, you know what? We don't need board of directors or CEOs anymore. You take all the data, all the outcomes, you put it in an AI algorithm, and will tell you what to do.
So you stay within the, let's say, the certain standard deviation of normal behavior.
Yeah.
But you can't predict.
You can't predict everything, right? And there will always be a choice. And then to decide what choice are you going to go with, is going to be there. And for example, predicting human behavior, we were just talking about being partners in life journey, and then deciding how to serve that.
Interesting. What brought you back to Pakistan? I mean, it's an interesting field. You were working at global companies. I went to a lecture at IBA. I'm doing that again next month, and I went last month, and I asked them a question. I said, if I gave you an American passport today on the condition that you can never return to Pakistan, how many of you will take that passport? I'm telling you, I was shocked. 90% of the class rate. And I said, wait, let me clarify. You can't come back and see your family. You can't set foot in this country again. How many of you will take that option? Still 90% raised their hands and said, we're out. Here you are walking back in amidst what we see is a challenging time. Why would you come back?
First and foremost, that response of the IBA students is rather sad, isn't it?
It broke my heart.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that is the real problem that we have in this country. This country is full of resources. If you're going to keep suffering from a brain drain that's been going on since probably the 80s, then you can't be surprised at why we're in this condition here right now. So yeah, that is heartbreaking. Why did I come back? Yeah, so there are two elements to it, right? So one is the more knowledge that you generate, there's more capacity for you to be a more productive part of your own society.
Right.
And the other thing is you spend time abroad.
Yeah.
No matter how lovely a place is, and listen, I spent a lot of time in the UK, a lot of friends out there and everything.
It's a first-rate life as a second-rate citizen.
Yes. So, and that will always hinge at you. It will always.
You will always wonder. The problem is you sit there wondering, what if?
And this happened for me maybe when I was about 29 or so. And I remember I was crossing a street in London. And I saw a big red bus passing by. And the thought crossed my head, if I got hit by that bus, I'll just be an Asian statistic.
A brown Asian statistic.
Brown Asian guy who came under a bus, and that's it. No matter what.
That's true.
And that was the idea that, hey, let's at least try and be who you can be in your own country. Why not? What's the worst that could happen? Second thing is, of course, family. Parents. Your parents are here. The kids at IBA, they're probably 18 or 19 years old, they're a bit gung-ho. But as you grow older and, your parents age. And when you leave, when they're about in their 50s or so, they're still healthy and hearty. 15, 20 years later, they're 70 and there's a big change in the lifestyle. Big change.
Absolutely.
And then, that hit me that, hey, I've been away too long. I want to come back, spend some good years back with my mother, back with my father. And that was it. And of course, as you can imagine, you took the company's name, leading roles. I was global director at AIA, etc. You're earning a pretty penny.
Yeah.
So I obviously took a significant haircut.
Yeah.
What I would have been.
It's a big adjustment.
Yeah.
Because you see, and the reason I bring this up, I was having a chat the other day, and I'm just we've had a nice long chat, but I want to leave with this last thought. I was having this chat the other day with some friends, and we were talking about how the last 4 or 5 months have seen a huge exodus of people. There's a significant brain drain of human capital. And here's my fear, right? You're in a business where there are no factories, no machines, no natural resources. Mm-hmm. Actually, your resource is human capital that is selling to other humans, right? So is this business. It's all human capital. Mm-hmm. And if that capital leaves and is replaced by capital that is not the same quality of capital, because the high quality capital exits, you've got, let's say, a second tier quality of capital that maybe then finds a way to exit. Then there's a third tier quality of capital. Over the next 30 years, then, businesses like ours that are purely dependent on human capital will see a degradation because there is no quality capital left. How can we survive effectively? How can we thrive? How can we be cutting edge? How can we do the greatest things if our quality of capital is on a significant journey of decline? And if guys like us or anyone who sees the life overseas where they're running cutting edge, they're testing new things, they're trying new things, are deprived of that, then is that really a life worth living, regardless of if you're in your home country with your parents?
It's Sophie's choice, huh?
That is exactly what it is.
But you see, listen, I'll put it in a different way. You're absolutely right. Loss of human capital. I was in Dubai about a few months ago. The expo that was happening, the pavilion, the Swiss Expo, the ambassador there invited us for dinner. I was with them. And you had a lot of CEOs from different insurance companies over there in the Middle East. And I kid you not, I introduced myself and I said, I'm an actuary. One of the guys, I think he was from Qatar and Kuwait, they said, hey, what is it about Pakistani actuaries? We actually have, they literally said this, quote unquote, we actually have an HR policy that if a Pakistani actual student comes up, we just grab them.
Really?
Because they're that good.
Yeah.
So first and foremost, yes, our capital is brilliant.
We have the Jugaad mindset. We find solutions.
So the first thing is, yes, absolutely, our capital is top of the line.
Yeah,
it is the best in the world and something for us to be proud of. We are losing it. At the same time, I would like to think that we're also very patriotic people, generally speaking. We've had a massive exodus, and the past few years, COVID and otherwise, have been very, very pressing, and people are looking for a better life. You can't blame them for that. Two things that we need to do. One is, of course, hope and pray that this current cycle turns around. Because if it does turn around, inshallah, but inshallah, if this turns around, I think that brain drain will reverse very quickly. Very quickly. Because there is that patriotism, there is that idea of wanting to be at home country. Second thing is, we are a very young country.
65% is under 30.
There you go. We really should be looking at how we train that young population. What you're talking about, second tier, third tier. It's not about, the mind is not second tier, third tier.
No, it's not.
It's about the training that is available to them.
So that's a very good point. You're saying bring first tier training down all the way to the bottom. So even if people leave, we still have a pipeline of young people.
That's what we need. And that's our asset. But our asset is only valuable if we take care of it, if we understand its value, and we nurture it. And that's what we've got to do. It's easier said than done. But you see, two main things that I would leave with: health and education.
Yeah.
That's what our population needs. And of course, insurance is one way about it. But, to protect your future is protecting your future generations and your country as well. And that's where our focus should be.
And you've got the greatest opportunity being the head of Statelife. I mean, one of the largest companies in the country, the largest in its space, focused on this. I think you can actually leave a positive impact on the country and, fulfill that dream of why you moved back.
Thank you so much. That's the idea.
Amazing. Thank you, Shoaib. This was a great chat. I hope I'm sold on all types of insurances. And I hope that whoever was tuned in understood what insurance is about. It's about protection more than anything else. And it's about being a partner in your life's journey. And it doesn't matter what your income level is. There is something for everyone at every level. And I think we need to just find a better way to educate ourselves. And companies like Statelife are going to partner and educate us even better. Thank you for stopping by. Thank you for tuning in. Subscribe to the channel and stay tuned to the next episode. Bye-bye.